This is Primetime Sports, WGNS Murfreesboro, on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, streaming worldwide on WGNSSports.com, and always at the game. The game. It's where you've had breakfast with the coaches since 1992. It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner. We'll talk to the coaches about their most recent games and their upcoming opponents. Now from News Radio WGNS, it's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner.
All right, good morning, everybody, and welcome in to the Coaches Conversation here on a beautiful Saturday. Fall in the air, of course, feels a little crisp. Round 2 of the high school football playoffs in the books, and looking ahead to the quarterfinals here coming up this week. So a lot to talk about this morning. No Middle Tennessee football today. We've got some basketball at 2:30 this afternoon as they host Murray State. And some big football games around the state of Tennessee of interest. The Vols, of course, Georgia. That is a big one to keep an eye on. But we're focused on the high schools this morning. And here is a look at your scoreboard from last night. If you're just now waking up and want to know how things went for our local Rutherford County teams. On the radio and streaming last night, we had Riverdale and Blackman from Riverdale High School tied at 10-10 at halftime, and then Riverdale dominated the second half, scoring 21 unanswered before Blackman tacked on a final touchdown toward the end of the game. It was a 31-17 Riverdale victory, and Riverdale will move on. They will play at Oakland next week, as the Oakland Patriots held off the Mount Juliet Golden Bears 35-28. Tough game for Oakland last night, but they found the will to get through it. And Dwan Morris, 5 touchdowns for the Oakland Patriots. And I think they were down or tied at 28. I think this is right, with 2-3 minutes or so left in the game. And a big turnover there toward the end, so that definitely was an interesting game last night at Oakland. So Oakland and Riverdale, with Riverdale traveling to Oakland in the quarterfinals next week. That means that we will have a team playing in the semifinals for the 27th straight year. Rutherford County team, 27 straight years, 30 of the last 31. That is quite amazing. A lot of those teams went on to play in the state championship game and either win the state championship or finish runner-up. 13 state championships in the 1993 to 2023 time frame. 15 in county history. So pretty amazing stat right there. The Stewart's Creek Redhawks continue to make history last night, taking Brentwood to overtime and tied at 10-10. Brentwood wins the coin toss in overtime, so Stewart's Creek scores first, gets the touchdown, 2 plays, Caleb Floyd, of course, and then the Stewart's Creek defense stymies Brentwood in the OT, and they win it 17-10. So Stewart's Creek moves on, and they're one of the final 8. Rutherford County has 3 of the final 8 in Class 6A. They will travel to Ravenwood next week. It was McKenzie defeating Eagleville 28-0. It was only 7-0 McKenzie in the first half, and we're going to talk to Floyd Walker about the game and about the Eagles' great run this season. Nashville Christian defeating MTCS 50-27. Christian Peterson will join us later on in the show from MTCS. Of course, the defending state champion, they go down, but they're not going to be down very long in terms of watch out. Mark them on your teams to watch for next season. Pretty sure about that. Okay, so how will the Coaches Show go this morning? A bit longer interviews today. We have fewer coaches, and here is the schedule. Just so you know, we're going to have Riverdale coming up here in just a couple of ticks of the clock. Blackman at 9:20, Oakland at 9:40, Stewart's Creek at 10 o'clock, and Eagleville will join in around 10:20, and MTCS maybe around 10:40 or so this morning, MTCS Cougar Corner. So that is a lineup of the Coaches Show for today. John Dinkins is going to take you through the first hour, 20 minutes here, and I'm going to wrap up this morning with Eagleville and MTCS Cougar Corner. So we invite you to stay tuned. The Coaches Conversation gets underway next here from News Radio WGNS Murfreesboro, Smyrna.
Rely on the experienced professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air.
If your old unit needs a tune-up, the professionals at Prentice Allsup Heating and Air service all major brands and even offer same-day service in most cases. keep your home or business comfortable year-round. Call us today at 615-890-1311. Prentice Allsup Heating and Air, your Ring Pro partner heating and cooling contractor on West College Street, just under the Thompson Lane overpass. Online at PrenticeAllsup.com.
Are you tired of feeling like just another number with your insurance provider? At Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, Agent Rick Hall prides himself on offering personalized service that puts you first. Every client's needs are unique. From personal home and auto coverage to tailored business insurance, Rick Hall's got you covered. Rick Hall at Rayburn Insurance Agency in Smyrna, where you're more than just a policy number. You're a neighbor.
Head over to J. Mullins Jewelry to check out their selection of rings, watches, custom designed jewelry, and much more. They're a local business located at 352 West Northville Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro. They have gifts for all occasions, weddings, graduations, anniversaries, whatever you need, you can find it at J. Mullins Jewelry. That's at 352 West Northville Boulevard or online at mullinsjewelry.com.
Craig's Tax Service at 142 Heritage Park Drive offers complete tax preparation, financial, and bookkeeping services.
This is Brandon Craig with Craig's Tax Service. We're proud to support all Rutherford County athletes.
Craig's Tax Service reminds you that it makes sense to get help with your taxes. Call 890-2233 for an appointment.
We've been serving Rutherford County since 1988.
Craig's Tax Service, 890-2233.
We're just off Memorial Boulevard at 142 Heritage Park Drive.
At Dr. Automotive in Smyrna, we're committed to providing local car owners with top-notch auto repair services. With over 2 decades of experience, our ASC certified master technicians are experts in both foreign and domestic vehicles, ensuring accurate diagnosis and timely, cost-effective repairs. From oil changes to major engine and transmission repairs, we've got the cure for your car. Dr. Automotive, keeping your car running smoothly, mile after mile. Visit our website, smyrnaautorepair.com.
Hurry up and try new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs. They're 4 fun-sized puffs packed with layers of pepperoni, cheese, and sauce, and only $3.99. So what are you waiting for? Try them now.
You heard him. We need to go try these new Little Caesars Crazy Puffs right now.
Stop it! Drive like the wind, Debbie. Enjoy delicious new Crazy Puffs on the go for just $3.99. Only at Little Caesars.
Pizza, pizza.
The Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coaches Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's Murfreesboro on FM 101.9 and AM 1450 Murfreesboro, FM 100.5 Smyrna, and streaming at WGNSSports.com.
And this portion of the show brought to you by Dr. Automotive, the cure for your car, professional auto repair and maintenance from ASE Certified Mechanics and Master Mechanics as well. Check them out online at AutoRepairSmyrna.com. John Dinkins here along with Will Kriesky, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. And one thing I can already tell you, you know how to turn the volume up on your speakers and everything here.
Yeah,
you become a regular.
Well, this is my 9th year coming, so I guess, I've learned a few things over the years. But, yeah, you were a little loud. I had to turn you down a little bit. You were screaming in my ear.
Well, I was screaming out there, too. In
yes,
the yeah, I was. There's a lot of things going on. Will, great game last night. I know we talk about the brother thing, but really it's survival, moving on. And yes, the important thing is you won 31-17. And I'm going to start with tough first half. It was really close, nip and tuck. But that third quarter drive, and I want to talk about it first, that third quarter drive you had was probably one of the most magnificent drives I've ever seen in terms of taking care of the clock and then getting a score out of it at the end.
Yeah, they did a good job. Coach Barnes was telling he got onto the offense pretty good at halftime and told them, guys, just do what you've been coached to do. Follow our lead and listen and just do your job and quit trying. We got caught up in too much of the emotions of the first half, and it is an emotional game, in a rival game. And our emotions got the best of us the first half, and he stressed to him at halftime, just do your job and quit trying to do somebody else's job and overcompensate. And that's what those guys did. They got in a rhythm, able to drive the ball down, take a lot of time off the clock, and get it in and score. And DJ kind of got going. He kind of gets going in the third quarter.
Well, and the offensive line did a superb job in that quarter as well. Started to break open holes for him. And he got in a rhythm. They got in a rhythm, and then Tellon was just on target during that third quarter as well.
Yeah, I think Malachi was 12 for 21 for like 170 yards and 2 touchdown passes, and he does a great job just managing the game. He does that. He has done that all year long. Just come in and just manage the game, and doesn't do anything crazy extraordinary, but he just does his job. And man, he runs the ball hard. When his number's called, he lowers his shoulders, and sometimes I worry about that.
Yeah.
But he's not scared to get in there and get dirty with the big boys. So I've been impressed with his leadership role this year.
To me, with him, it's like he doesn't panic.
No.
I mean, it's just you can't tell with him what the score is because it's the same, and it's pretty like on target for the most part. He had a few drops in the first half, but he didn't waver at all.
No, and if he'll make a big you never see him celebrate. He has the same expression whether he throws an interception or throws a touchdown pass, and that's just who he is. And for a while, it kind of bothered me, but then I'm just like, that's him. That's his personality.
Yeah.
It's just that you got to accept people for who they are, and that's what we do. And it kind of helps the kids stay calm.
Yeah.
I mean, he never panics, and when things are 10-10, he's not over there panicking.
Yeah.
And I think it keeps the offense calm.
Well, he was 12 of 21. You're right on it for 160 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also rushed for a touchdown. DJ had 19 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown, and added a really beautiful 18-yard TD reception in the corner. That kid can do about anything. I think he could be a wideout. He can be a running back. Play defense. I mean, the kid's talented.
Yeah, and that's the thing that bothers me because hadn't been like a high big time recruit, because a lot of colleges want him on defense. Well, he's been playing offense for us, and we just hadn't. I mean, he can play defense. We just don't need him to play defense right now with those guys, and that's just unfortunate for him that he's being penalized for just playing his team role. You know what I mean? Just buying into being a running back. But with that being said, he's locked in and committed to MTSU, and that's where he wants to go. I've told him some other schools have reached out, and because I'm going to be honest with kids and not hide anything from them, and he's said, Coach, man, I'm blue. I'm all MT. So that makes me proud of a kid that's sticking to his commitment, and he's excited to stay home.
He's another kid that doesn't seem like he panics either at the score. I mean, he does his job. When you got the lead, the defense kind of took over, but I want to talk about, even in the first half, they were playing really well. I mean, there wasn't any long sustained drives. There was a turnover that led to one score for Blackman, but just really hitting people. I mean, just hitting people.
Well, it was a real physical game. They're a physical football team too, and yeah, thought the guys were flying around on defense. The secondary was making some plays, and then of course our linebackers were running to the ball, and Aiden Edmonds and Jeremiah Weaver and JoJo Smith and all those guys, man, and Czar Nicholas, man, when you run the ball, they're gonna punish you. And then our defensive line up front, they play Caleb Woods and J.C. Haynes and Anthony Gunn. I mean, it was a physical battle up front, and those guys, had to play hard every snap.
Yeah, we don't give the line enough credit, either defensively and offensively.
Yeah.
We never do, and that game was won to me up front last night.
That's what I said. Everybody kept talking to me and asking me, what's the keys to the game? And I said, whoever can win up front on both sides of football. I said, because they're probably one of the best fronts we've seen this year, and they're really good and really physical. And I knew you had to win the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball to have a successful night.
And Blackman's very talented. You'd already beaten them once, and not that long ago.
Less than a month ago.
That really made it, I think, really tough, and for those guys to come around and take care of business, because that's hard to do.
It's real hard to do, and it's one, it's hard to win playoff games, and two, it's hard to beat a Rutherford County team twice in a year, and we played them less than a month ago. Less than a month ago we played them, but I thought our kids handled it well. They stayed focused, and it wasn't just about the pass. They knew it was the stake in hand, and that's why at first we kind of got too emotional, because it started with me. I was the one that caused all the ruckus, because I got emotional over some things that I didn't agree with. But these kids calmed down. Our coaching staff calmed down, and that's what I was really proud of, how they settled down and then played that second half.
A couple of interceptions too. I thought you did a good job of pressuring Hamby, who had a great game the week before. You knew what kind of arm he had. Not necessarily sacking him every time, but just kind of getting a hand in his face, worrying him. He had to roll out some. Was that kind of the game plan there?
Yeah, and Coach Will did a good job putting his game plan together, and they were able to put some pressure on him. And like you said, get him not let him get comfortable in the pocket. If you let that kid get comfortable in the pocket, he's gonna pick you apart. He's got a really strong arm. So the defense did a great job when the blitzes were called to be successful and mix it up. And like you said, making him get outside the pocket, and that helped our DBs with the coverage also.
We're talking to Will Kriesky, the head coach of Riverdale. The first half was just so strange. I mean, everything about it was strange, and there was a call out there that was strange. There was like a 10-minute delay, them trying to figure out what they were going to call. But it was almost like the moon was full or something, because Blackman was having the same issue kind of. Yeah. Is that just all the emotion, really? Do you think that's probably it?
Yeah, I mean, of course, one being a rival game, and then the emotion of being a second-round playoff game. And that, but and then there was a lot of confusion, and and I don't want to say too much to get myself in trouble, but it caused a lot of issue. But then everybody calmed down and got back and started playing football. And
special team play was really
key,
very important, wasn't it, last night?
That's what I said, and we got a punt blocked, and then they got a couple punts blocked. So for two teams that really stress special teams, we had some mishaps on special teams, but credit both teams, because their block teams really came in and gave both punt teams some problems last night.
And y'all both are good at that. I mean, you're both good. Both of them are kind of carbon copy on the special team play defensively.
Yeah, and again, we both stress special teams, and we know special teams are a big important part of the game. So, and that's what you got to credit both staffs, and Coach Josh Haley does our block team, and he did a really good job getting them lined up and getting them set to create some problems.
I want to talk about another person here, if I may, Malik Hicks.
Yes.
Malik. What a night he had. 91 yards and a touchdown, 5 receptions. But that's really, they were clutch catches. When they really needed it.
Yeah, he made some really big third down catches when we needed to move the chain. Cam Booker made a few like that also. But, Malik just goes out and make plays. He's on offense, he's on defense, he's on special teams. He does not come off the field. He's another kid that it just blows my mind that he hadn't been just recruited heavily. He's just a football player. These college coaches ask, I want a football player. Well, he's a football player.
Yeah.
He just loves the game. He's another one. Even keel. You don't see many emotions. He'll score and get a little excited, but he's got the same demeanor whether we're up big or we're down.
Elijah Reams had an interception as well. It was just a good night for the defense in the second half. You kind of did what you needed to do, I guess is a good way or best way to put it.
Yeah, Elijah, and again, I talked about those guys. Bronson Chris has been out with a strained calf, and hopefully we'll get him back this week. And Cam Darden, who's been a starter, and Malik Hicks had to play a little bit more. Usually Bronson and Malik kind of rotate, and Malik comes in on some of our other packages, and then Cam, rotates. So we've been able to rotate those guys, but Malik had to play both sides all night long. And then, of course, our two safeties, like you said, Elijah Reams and Hudson Fuqua, they played really well. So
Hudson had a good game as well.
Yeah. So all those guys played well last night, but not just those. It's just these guys as a whole team playing together as a team. All phases last night. It's not just one phase dominating for us. All phases are playing. Offense is playing well. Defense is playing well. And then our special teams game is doing great. So, that's the type of team you have to play in the month of November, a team that's successful in all phases. And we have to play almost perfect next Friday night. We got a tough game. And, somebody asked me, when are you going to start worrying about Oakland? And I said, man, as soon as I get in that field house, because I remember what happened to us last year in the quarterfinals, and it's not something I want to put these kids through again. And that blame was on me, and I didn't have them ready last year, and I want to make sure that I correct that mistake and get these kids ready for Friday night.
Will, when you go back to the beginning of the season in the game against Smyrna, your offense was struggling a little bit at the time. Did you ever dream that they've caught up? They have really molded a new quarterback, that kind of thing. What's the key there? What's Why have they gotten so much better?
It's just the offensive coaches,
Yeah.
the time and the dedication they spend with them. I know Coach Barnes wasn't happy with me early in the season because I'm not patient.
Yeah.
But, Coach Barnes and his staff, they believe in what they do, and they coach these kids, and they study film with them, and they just stay on them and about the little things. And like you said, you see them improving every week. They've gotten better each and every week. And Malachi telling, if you would have told me the year he was going to have back in the spring, I don't know if I would have believed you.
Yeah.
And the way that kid has improved since March till now is a 180. And not just him, the receivers and the O-line. So those guys have really, and the offensive staff never wavered. They knew it was going to take time. You're replacing 9 of the 11. Offense, it takes a lot more time gelling and getting everything together than it does on the defensive side.
That part about you being impatient, I find that hard to believe, Coach.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Oakland a little bit. Do you had already met them? That game was really close, and I don't know that the score really indicated how close that game really was if you just looked at the score, but that was anybody's game in the last quarter and just came up short, and some weird things happened in that game as well.
Yeah, we're up 14 with 6 minutes to go, and then we lose by 15. So, that's one that I've beat myself up as a head coach. And didn't do a good job finishing the game for the kids. But, these kids will be prepared. And that's what's been tough about the last 2 weeks is because you didn't want the kids to look back to let's get another rematch and not focus on the opponent. And they did a good job of focusing on our opponents the last 2 weeks to get us an opportunity to face Oakland again. You want to go to the quarters, and then you want to go to the semis. And for us to keep taking steps as a program, this is the second year in a row we're in the quarterfinals. So I'm proud of these seniors and proud of how they battle. But they want to take a next step, and so we have to come to work and focus because we know what Oakland's done. We know the history of Oakland.
Oakland's very explosive too.
Yes.
I mean, you can't having a lead. You need to really just stay focused. I guess that's how to put it. I don't know. But they can score really quickly, and I know you're going to look out for that kind of thing, too.
Yeah, I mean, we had them 4th and 2 backed up, and they rip off a 60-something yard touchdown, to go ahead 22-21. And so we know that they can score on any play. We know who Craig Tutt is. He's a heck of a football player, and he's the best player on their team right now, and he's playing really well on both sides of football. So we know we have to be able to contain him. We know Morris. We know all about Morris and how he got after us last year in the quarterfinals. We know about their offensive line and how physical they are up front on offense and defensive line and what Coach Watson does with that defense. So we have to prepare, study, find the mistakes we did in the first game, correct those mistakes, and be ready because, Coach Kriesky, man, he does a great job calling that offense, and he's going to throw some wrinkles in at us, and he always does, and we have to be prepared and be all on the same page and communicate. And if we're not communicating defensively, one misalignment can cause a touchdown against them.
I thought you did a good job against their run game last game, but it was 2 or 3 big runs, and that's what you've got to avoid in this game, right? You can't let them have those.
Yeah, those were misalignments.
Yeah,
and again, when you misalign against Oakland, they take advantage of you, and they find where you are misaligned and make that call, and it'll hurt you. That's why we have to really work together this week. I mean, we have to play together as a team. And again, if we're not communicating on the same page, they'll exploit us. And they did a good job last time, getting a punt, and they're really good on special teams. Marcus Bryson for them does a phenomenal job of special teams. So we have to be prepared in all phases of the game next Friday.
I did notice when y'all played the first time how similar you were in even like the big plays. I mean, those happen. The secondary and the up front. And very similar in how y'all play, how you guys play. Should be a great game, and we're looking forward to it. We'll be there, and it should be a great crowd too, I would think. And a Battle of the Borough Part 2. I don't always say Battle of the Borough, but I mean you got to battle with everybody, don't you?
Yeah, yes we do. But again, it's like we said before. This is the Murfreesboro community.
Yeah.
Riverdale, Oakland in the quarterfinals. That's what this community was built on, and that's what it's about. And I know a lot of the old timers and alumni. I'm not going to point any fingers right now, but I know they're excited and they like this battle.
It is funny, but going back into the years and years and years, this game, Oakland Riverdale, for most people, particularly my age, that's all they remember.
Yeah.
Oakland Riverdale. Coach, it's been great talking to you. Good luck next week, and if I can give you any pointers, let me know. Give me a call. All right.
I will.
That's Will Kriesky, the head coach of the Riverdale Warriors. This portion of the show brought to you by Dan France Concrete, a licensed and insured residential and commercial concrete construction contractor serving Middle Tennessee. That's Dan France Concrete. And coming up, it's Blackman football. Stay with us.